When you're a renter, you're not always able to paint a whole room, and if you are, it can be a little expensive and time-consuming to paint it back when you leave. However, painting a door frame and adding just a touch of color to a room makes such a big difference, and it's very easy to reverse if you do have to change it back. For this renter-friendly project, I wanted to go with a subtle hint of color to add some cottage charm to Hilltop Cottage. This is exciting. I'm on my lunch break. I finally decided what color. I chose Benjamin Moore's Yarmouth Blue because it's a historical color. Let me show you. So I was looking through quite a few. Oops. Oh, no. I don't have the sample. So I'm so excited. I picked up the paint for the trim. I'm going to paint the trim on this door, and then I'm pretty sure I'm going to also paint the trim on the kitchen door as well, and the little window in the kitchen to the living room with the same color. I chose Benjamin Moore's Yarmouth Blue. It looks actually kind of white on the camera, but it's actually a very gray blue, and at nighttime it looks pretty dark. So I chose a lighter blue than the others. There were some other choices. I was definitely going for that historical 1800s New England color, and I did want to do blue because the kitchen, I have the blue and the white contact paper backdrop, and then my curtains are blue and white, and I have a bit of a blue and white theme going on for the kitchen and dining room. So I just thought it'd be a beautiful historic color that would also fit this mid-century cottage as well. So I have my handy dandy trim paintbrush. It's a little dirty, but we'll get the job done. And then some painter's tape. So I'm gonna get started. With time to get painting. This is my art smock since I was in kindergarten. My name is very faded on there, but my grandmother used to work for Beek. That's not actually how you pronounce it, but in the US it sounds like a swear word, so we call it Beek. But she worked there, and this was their Family Day shirt from 1994. Such a relic of an old time in my life. But time to open up that paint and coat is done. It's still very wet. I'm gonna let it dry a little, and then see it's a little darker over here. And it's very wet, so it looks shiny, but it's gonna be like a satin when it dries. I decided I'm also painting the little plastic frame in the window because it's so dirty looking, and I don't know, I just think this will add some cheer. I just finished the third and final coat. It's still wet, so it's gonna darken again when it dries. I'm just really impatient right now. So I know it's too soon, but I think I'm gonna take off the tape because I did paint enough layers. I did 3 layers, and I went in and did touch-ups. And then if I have to touch up little spots, I could do that with a tiny paintbrush. I don't need to tape it. So I think I'm gonna take the tape off, even though it's not dry yet. trim was done really poorly, and it does actually look pretty silly that this part is white. So I am gonna paint the inside here between the trim and the door. It's so pretty. The sun is literally just setting, so I won't be able to show you what it looks like in the full daylight, but it is the most beautiful, historic looking, but cheerful light blue. It's still wet, so it'll look even darker when it's dried, but wow. I really like it. I kind of want to now paint all the trim, all the trim in the house. I'll start with the doorways though. Beautiful. I didn't quite notice before, but this painting, those blues in the painting, and I'm glad I went for it and did this part too. This little plastic molding now looks kind of like wood, and I just got to scrape it off the windows. All right, I'm gonna start taping this. I don't know if I'm actually going to paint it tonight, but I will say I am gonna tape it off so I could get started. And then I'll just worry about this, and then I'll do this window frame another time. And of course I had to paint it that night. I was in such a mood to get things done. I don't know if I'm actually going to end up painting the window frame. I personally would like to, but Matthew thinks it might be a little too much to do the door frame and the window framing blue. But I really like how it came out. It's very subtle. I could have gone with a shade darker, but I really like what I chose. While I was painting, I listened to some Taylor Swift finals, and then between drying and coats, I watched Princess Diaries too.
Proudly present this year's Woodrow Wilson School of Public and International Affairs graduating class.
Dear Diary, well, it's me, brand new college graduate / princess. Oh, I can't believe it's been 5 years since Grandma told me that I was a princess. Me? A princess? Shut up! And right after that, my mother surprised me by marrying my high school teacher, Patrick O'Connell. It must be going well because they are now expecting a baby. Lily's remained the same as she continues to cause turmoil, but now as a graduate student at Berkeley, which she calls Berserkly. How's Michael, you may ask? Well, we're just friends now, as he went off to tour the country with his band.
Princess Mia, look out the window, and welcome back to Genovia.
Oh, there it is, my beautiful Genovia. Of course,
The next morning, I admired the bright little pop of blue in my kitchen and at the front door. It's subtle, but it's a beautiful historic color. I really love how it came out. And maybe in the future I'll go with a shade darker, but for now this really suits the space. today because my father-in-law is coming over, and he's actually bringing his old vintage Firebird to give to my husband. It's something that my husband loved riding around in when he was a kid, and then when he became a teenager, his dad would let him borrow the Firebird. And now that his dad is retired, he doesn't want to take care of the Firebird, and so Matthew's getting it, which is very exciting. It's a 1990, the year I was born. It's red with the T-tops that come off. It needs a little bit of like work, for example, just aesthetics, like some paint is off the hood, and it needs to be reupholstered, the seating, but it actually works pretty good. And so I just did a quick tidy of the house, and this arrived. So this really is the Lori Pemberton calendar. I ordered one for myself and one as a Christmas present. So I did want to open this and take a look. So last year I did miss out on the Lori Pemberton calendar, and what I think is great about it is that when you're done using it, you get to take out the prints and you could frame them and use them over and over again. And oh, it's pretty. I love Lori Pemberton. She's a local New England artist living in Vermont. And this is the 2025, the year of milk and honey calendar. This is beautiful. So there's two of them. I'm gonna open one of them because one of them's mine and the other is a gift. So let's see. She did just restock her shop, so she should have some calendars for a little while, and she'll have gift cards soon. I love that it feels like watercolor paper, and that it is actually probably watercolor paper. Ooh, okay. The illustrations, gorgeous, of course. They're painted with gouache, but I wasn't expecting to love the shape of the calendar so much. It's very vertical like that, and it looks almost like a handmade calendar page. It's really pretty. Let's take a look. Where's February? There we go. Oh, I love this one. February, March, April. Oh, that's beautiful. I was gonna order this print, and now that I know it's in the calendar, I'll just reuse it when the calendar's done. May, June, July. Oh, I love this. July is my birthday month, and I like to celebrate, and it feels like a celebration. August, September, ooh, October, November. Look at the sheep. November, December. Oh, it's so pretty. And then it feels like, is there one more page? Oh, just the ending. Well, yeah, I love Lori Pemberton. Her illustrations are beautiful. And you might want to follow her on Instagram if you're not following. Thank you for visiting Hilltop Cottage. I hope you enjoyed this video.